Howdy do and welcome back, everybody. Just another day. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of smoking. Got a deer, butchered it up, and now it's time to start making some jerky. Trying out a new recipe that I found online. It's a sriracha and sweet. So some spicy sweet stuff. See how it turns out. I'll post the link to the recipe at the end of this video. Now this is a wet cure recipe, so I took advantage of my vacuum sealer and I put it into a vacuum seal container. I'll show you the top. All right, here's the top of the lid of the vacuum seal container. And as you see, it has just different settings. You turn the dial to it when you go to use it for, say, vacuuming out the container, and then closing it, and then where the dial's set now, it says open. This is by Food Saver brand, and it is a wonderment when it comes to marinating pretty much anything. I think that it does a great job of pulling in the flavors, shortening your marinate time a little bit when it comes to infusing with flavor. Yeah. All right, back to the trays. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna oil our trays like we always do so we don't get any sticking. We've got the meat that we're laying on, and we're making sure that it doesn't touch so that it dries out nicely. This one I think is a little too close to the edge. I will fix that. With these racks on the Masterbuilt smoker, you don't want it all the way to the edge because there is a channel or a groove this fits into, unless you lay it on top of that channel, which, you know, I might do that because pulling these grates in and out of those channels is kind of a royal pain. So I'll probably just leave that there and I'll just set them on the rack a little bit differently, or the channeling a little bit differently. But if you do that and you don't put them into their channels, you got to be extra careful to make sure that they do not fall out when you're going in and out of that cabinet to check stuff. So this is, like I said, a sweet sriracha mix. It says it's not super hot, which I'm a wussy, but I like heat at the same time. Kind of annoying that I can't pass it through my system as well as I would like to. I love heat in my mouth, but when it comes to being in my belly, it says I don't want to live here. So I'm gonna layer all this stuff onto sheets, and then I'll get it out to the smoker. All right, out here at the smoker, we're gonna make sure and set our temperature at 180. We're gonna set our time for, let's go with 5 hours, even though it should only take us about 3.5 to 4. And we're gonna open up our smoke vent all the way because we're not gonna want to trap any humidity in there, or as very little humidity in there as possible. We're gonna go inside of our smoker. And we're gonna take out our pan because we're not gonna need any moisture left in here. Our smoke box looks like it's doing its job. Now I think we're ready to get the jerky in the smoker. I'll go get it. it. And then make sure you load some chips in. And we'll be back in 3 hours. All right, we're here a little over, probably closer to 4 hours rather than the 3.5. And I would say, judging by the amount of shrinkage, still a little bit pliable, but I've learned that they generally don't get cracky and crunchy until you let them cool on the counter. So I think we're done. This looks like it's ready to go. Look at the amount of shrinkage on that though. If you go back to earlier in the video, these racks, everything was all touching. And that didn't look like that. Oh boy. I had a lot of stuff fall on that. It's good reason to put foil on your smoker. All right, we'll do the taste test inside. All right, so do a taste test here. Sorry guys, been fighting a cold. Some littler pieces sitting there. These ones, as they're drying out, or cooling down, I should say, you can really tell. Let's see if I can get this to the camera over here. Hard to find it on the iPhones, but hopefully you can hear it. They're really, as they cool down, they're a lot drier than they present inside of the smoker, which I've always had a hard time dealing with, because when they give you instructions, they always tell you you need to make sure that they're crispy. They should have a firm snap, but that's never how it works. Never ever. At least in my humble opinion. Maybe you have different experiences, but quite frankly, I don't. Definitely sweet at the front. We can taste that. That garlicky sriracha. Yeah, really? Okay, I'm getting that heat. So it's definitely got a little bit of a sizzling heat to it. I've definitely had worse as far as heat goes. So by that I mean like a lot hotter. This is definitely a mild heat, but good, as you can tell. Can't stop putting it in my mouth. Nope, don't you dare say that's what she said. But yeah, I like it. Now I had to add about, let's see, the can of soda is about 12 ounces. I added probably 6 ounces of cola to the recipe. I didn't have the rice vinegar that they asked for, so what you ended up with was a cider vinegar instead, because usually the vinegar is important. It helps penetrate and all that stuff, but the cider has its own flavor. I can taste the cider vinegar intermingled, so I'm sure if you follow the recipe and you get the ingredients you're supposed to, this would taste even better. Now, another thing that I did that they didn't do in the recipe is they called for a teaspoon of salt, I believe. I did not put in a teaspoon of salt because I wanted to try something else out. I used pink salt. This stuff here. This is a special preservative salt. It's called curing salt. It has Prague powder. It's a I can't remember the name of the stuff. But it's a special preservative for meats. It retains color in meat, so because it's a little bit pink, your meat will stay pink. It won't turn gray. Grab one of these nice big pieces here, and we will, let's see, where is that camera? Let's see. Don't show me, just show that. Alright, you can kind of see that it's still pink a little bit. So it's part of what it does is maintains that color, but also it helps preserve so that you don't have to put stuff in the freezer. And I'll monitor this stuff as it cools down. If it doesn't meet my dehydrated expectations, then I will probably still freeze it. But judging what I see here, yeah, see, that's not flexing, not really. That's hard as a rock. So that definitely got down there to where I needed it to. So this should be able to maintain itself in a jar, like when we do apples and stuff like that. So that's the benefit of using this. Now, you need to do your research, and you need to definitely understand what you're adding to your jerkies, because you can hurt yourself doing this. In fact, the warning on this label is keep away from children, as this product can be dangerous if handled improperly. This product is not intended to be used as table salt. Use only as originally intended. That is the warning on the label. They also have pretty good instructions on how to use it. They have a website and everything. So, like I said, do your research. If you want to try and preserve jerkies like a real butcher might, then look it up. Look up for curing salts. But do the research. Definitely do the research. All right. See what kind of trouble I can do tomorrow. Later.